Hi, everybody. I'm experiencing some troubles with the mic. I'm Paulina, CEO and co-founder of Captain Cook. Captain Cook is a mobile app we developed about 2 years ago, meant to simplify the way people prepare their dishes at home every day. So I don't want to get too much into details how we approach the whole product, the whole problem, and so on. I just want to give you an example of a small startup. So for the most of the time, we were 3 people in the team. We were able to climb on the top of the charts, but I think what is even more valuable, we were able also to stay on the top of the charts in Germany, where our main country is. And I just want to share with you how we make it happen. Yeah, so it's all started with a big idea. We wanted to simplify the way people discover the recipes, but also how they do shopping much easier. So we developed the app, and probably very different to many startups, we didn't want to focus on minimal viable products like MVP, because normally it is very fast and ugly. In our case, because we had some specific skill set in the very tiny team, we were really into details. So we wanted to deliver the quality with our app. We wanted to create a great content, which was back then even less available online and also in the apps. So we created all the content ourselves. We took the cameras, we cooked our food, we prepared all the pictures. We designed everything ourselves. We developed the app. It all took us about 5 months. But 5 months, not from the moment when we started developing the app, but actually from the moment that we met as a team. So probably effective process was 3 months. And when I'm looking back to that times, I'm thinking, thanks God, we actually took a couple of months more probably, but really brought up a great product and were able to get attention with that. So, as I say, beautiful design, great content, but also probably decent amount of newcomer luck, and we were featured for the first time on the Apple App Store. So, and you can imagine for the small startup, it means the world. So it was super great. We were getting tons and tons of downloads every day. We were on the top of the charts. And of course, when the downloads start melting down, you're asking yourself, okay, so what's next actually? How can I survive now? And I think what is really important in this case is that we saw our product really as a great marketing tool itself. So we are meant not to be the next cooking app out there, but we wanted to solve the problem. Basically, to avoid the problem, but you're standing in the supermarket and you really cannot decide what to cook. That's why we developed the app, which is super simple. And I think this is one of the key criteria you have to think also in terms of your app. So try to develop the app which is simple but still delivers lots of value. So every day you will see 3 recipes, only 3, not 300, not 3,000. In 24 hours the recipes will disappear. And every recipe is also paired with products and prices from local grocery stores. So it was another layer of convenience we added to normal, like so-called cooking app, which normally you will not expect. And when you come home, you would have also step-by-step pictures, which was also super beautiful. Yeah, so after we've been featured, it was great. We got the first attention and so on. But then we realized, okay, so it's actually pretty addictive to get featured. And we started to see this whole feature process more strategically. And we realized actually that there should be a balance. You have to be able to find a balance between the features which are highly interesting for your users, but also very appealing to the Apple App Store if you want to be featured. So over the last 20 months, we were trying to find this balance. And I think we were pretty successful with that. So we were featured by Apple App Store multiple times in different categories, also on the top, on the main first screen and so on. So it was continuously our growth engine. And when you start developing this relationship with Apple, I think these 4 criteria are very important to consider. First one, you have to show that you're consistent with your development, meaning they will not ask you, or they will definitely not ask you anything, but if you try to approach them, it is that, oh, we have this new great update, please feature us. They will definitely expect from you the consistency over at least the next 6 months so that you can deliver the whole roadmap of the updates you're planning to bring out So they are still excited about you. Second thing, you have to show some dedication to the platform. They will also ask, are you exclusively available for iOS, and for how long would it be the case? And in this case, probably it's also better to say, yes, we're exclusive, and give like a decent amount of time when you want to be exclusive on the Apple. Because then they feel like, okay, you're also supporting not only your own app, but also their platform. And the third thing is also, definitely they want you to implement all the newest features. So in our case, sometimes it was also a threshold between, okay, what is actually the next thing we want to bring out for our users? But at the same time, we saw, okay, Apple didn't feature us for a while, so maybe we should work for Apple in this case. So that's why this was kind of a prioritization what we had over the whole period of time we are developing the app. And the fourth thing is actually they want you to show that you're able actually to grow your app, to grow your company also independently of the Apple App Store. So they will ask you what are your marketing launch plans. So also make thoughts about that. The good or bad thing, it is definitely helpful to get featured, but it's not the only thing how you will survive in the Apple App Store. And there is definitely live after being featured. And it was also hard to figure it out because, as I said, as a startup, you're limited with everything, with resources, with time, with money, and all this stuff. But I just wanted to motivate maybe some of you who are also having a startup that also for a small team, it is possible to stay visible. This is our graphic from App Annie since our launch. So we were able to stay in the top 25 charts for the whole time. So sometimes we were higher, sometimes we were lower, but it was possible because we were constantly working on the app. So during this time, we brought up about 15 updates. And of course, we were always taking we were also thinking, okay, what is really relevant for our users? That's why we have great rating, and it's also helpful. So as I said, we treat our app as a marketing tool. You have to try to find your own pillars you want to build on, your strengths. In our case, we're focusing on quality and simplicity, and also some kind of inbuilt gamification. It worked perfectly for us, and it still works. And I'm not talking about badges or leaderboards, all this stuff. It was something pretty specific for us. It was self-destructing content. So if you're now thinking of self-destructing content, maybe you'll think of Snapchat. But from today, you can also think of Captain Cook. So this way, I think, because we always engaged with our user and wanted to stay also interesting for them, it helped us actually to fix the retention. So our retention rate after 1 month is about 65%. So meaning that the majority of the users we acquire, doesn't matter from which channel, we're also able to keep with us. And as we saw from the presentations before, it is also super valuable actually to retain the users you have acquired once. And also the whole engagement, we're tracking the whole stuff to see, okay, how often people use the app, what could be improved, how can we actually make this next step. Yeah, so this is a couple of things what actually we are trying to do. So we are always trying to surprise them. And to surprise them meaning we are testing different channels at the same time. For example, this case, we had a giveaway on Facebook. At the same time, we connected this giveaway with push notification in the app. So we are Captain Cook, so we have a captain, and we hide the captain in one of the step-by-step pictures. And then we said people, hey, find out where the captain is, tell us, participate in the giveaway. And we had a tremendous participation. So about 68% of people opened the push notification, which is like totally a lot. And like most of the people also participated. And it's maybe something not everybody would do. It's maybe a bit weird to put something on the cooking pictures, but this is actually something we wanted to stand out with, and rather that people remember us as people who put this freaking captain in the pictures, then kind of say, this is kind of neutral app, not interesting at all. So rather be more experimental and try different things than be orient yourself on others, what they have been doing so far and so on. So this is always the thing that, yes, now we have a power of push notifications, so basically we can push notifications all the time, and especially to the people who are not using the app, because we want definitely to come them back. Be careful with that. I mean, we have high retention rate, not because we are using push notifications. Push notifications we are using very carefully. On special occasions, like Halloween, for example, we had also great retention rate. But of course, we also want to get people back who are not coming back for quite some time. So with this case, we were approaching this very also strategically to think about what is the psychology of people, how can we actually reach out to them. So we came up with the A/B testing with 3 messages. One of them was like, feel like cooking tonight, we've made your grocery list. It was more into psychology, we took care about you, you feel better now, take a look in the app. The second was we missed you in the kitchen, have you stopped cooking? So something like curious, like have I really stopped cooking, or I'm not taking care of myself anymore so long, so like, okay, so I'll take a look in this app. And another one was don't miss out on some tasty content. And this is playing very strong with fear of missing out. And this is actually why we're also having very high open rates every day, because people are afraid also of missing the content, because every day there are new recipes, and those that you haven't saved, they will disappear like forever almost. But like this kind of different triggers, you have just to figure out what would probably bother or what would trigger your users in this case. Also, App Store optimization is a big part of what we are doing, and honestly speaking, I've heard for the first time of App Store optimization when I first visited App Promotion Summit, and starting from there, I started experimenting. And now, for example, something like app preview video would work, and it drives more attention to your app, but we didn't have budget for that, and we still don't. That's why we're trying to leverage from the basic tools that we can do for free. So first of all, what we did, we fixed our title. You will see here, if you're German, you'll understand. So Chefkoch, for example, is a competitive app, which is like the biggest platform. We put it here because we believe that we offer better value than them, and people will not be disappointed when they click on Captain Cook and discover us. Also, we leverage from the brand names of the supermarkets because we implement the prices of the supermarkets in the app. And lucky us, most of the supermarkets do not have their own apps. So when people look for the prices of the supermarkets, they will end up with our app. So which is also pretty beneficial for us. This is how our growth was so far. So I started actively working on App Store optimization in the beginning of this year. And we started from really lows. And I'm proud to say that now we are almost like in the visibility 100 of 100. And it worked with simple tools as, yes, we found the right keywords, we fixed our title, we focused on phrases rather than words. And actually Apple helps you also to build the right phrases, especially if you use small words. So like short words, for example, like meal, they will put together automatically with dinner meal, lunch meal, and so on, even if you're not using dinner or lunch in your keywords. Yeah, and we constantly monitor the changes and try to adjust and all this stuff. And this is our progress. So now we are ranking for the most important phrases for us, like tasty cooking, tasty eating, and other stuff. So we are much more visible now than we were, for example, 10 months ago. Yeah, and we have also tried to get press attention. So as a startup, you think it is the easy way to go, and you can do it for sure. And then we realized that, so we are probably not yet so exciting. We are not Mark Zuckerberg, who are donated 45 billions, and like not everybody wants to write about us. And then we realized, after we have already had a PR person working on this full time, it didn't work. So we realized that we have to frame ourselves right. We have to create a content around our startup to be interesting. And we had created a platform for that, our blog, and we've been pretty successful till that, since then. And this is our key, how it worked. So we actually started to be very visual. We created a couple of really great infographics, and then approached the platforms like BuzzFeed, Lifehacker. Well, actually, they approached us. And then we got lots and lots of visibility through that. And this is also, I believe, that right content put into the right hands can be a really influential tool. And since I'm running out of time, just very shortly, we also experimented with influencer marketing and still are. So, for example, influencers who, like this influencer discovered us and just talked about us on the YouTube video. There are also platforms for that you can utilize. And actually, we tried a couple of them with a couple of influencers, and we were able also to optimize our cost per download to 50 cents, which is pretty cool comparing to Facebook, for example. And also, you don't want to be to have it like coincidence that you got featured somewhere. You want to make it a rule. That's why we learned over the time that it is needed to make friends. And in order to make friends, you have also to invest in them. And you have to be prepared to offer more than you actually want to take back. So we built also a platform of food bloggers around us who are supporting us, who are sharing our content, and giving us additional visibility. And very short, these are the tools we are using. These are not secret tools. One of them, if you wanted to reach out to reporters and you don't know how, go to help a reporter out, and you will see that actually reporters are constantly looking for help because they have all last-minute articles to have to be written, and you can help them with your input. And this way, you will also make friends. Then I will also suggest everybody to apply for Facebook F-Start, because then you will get tons and tons of perks that we were utilizing the whole time, and it's all for free. For example, mobile action for App Store optimization, I don't know, normally it costs $300 a month. We're using it for 6 months for free. And all different things, and it's really simple application and so on. And of course, we use Mixpanel to monitor the data. And these are two tools we're using for influencer marketing. This is FameBeat and SponsorKit. So you can experiment, and it's very intuitive and easy to use. Yeah, and to wrap up, I just want to say that if we could do it, you can also do it, because it's not rocket science. Just focus on, you have to build a really app, with a capital A, so that people have a reason to talk about you. Develop your app also strategically, because it's helpful. Fix the retention. As I said, give more than you expect to get back. And try to become visible on the Apple App Store with simple tools, and constantly monitor your data. And then welcome into the top charts. See you there. Thank you.